In a further, wider escalation of the conflict in Ukraine, Russia has cut off gas supplies to Poland and also to Bulgaria. They had refused to demand that payments should be made in Russian currency. Well, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said this was unjustified and unacceptable. Well, both countries rely heavily on Russian gas, but they both insist they will be able to cope. Let's get the very latest now from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, with my colleague there, Ben Brown.
Yes, hello, welcome from Kyiv. And Ukraine is saying today that this Russian decision to cut off gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria is the start of what it calls a gas blackmail of Europe and an attempt to divide the international community. Bulgaria's energy minister has said that natural gas is now being used by Russia as a political and an economic weapon. Well, the latest move by the Kremlin certainly does represent something of an escalation in tensions between Moscow and the West. President Putin had previously warned that so-called unfriendly countries would have to pay for their gas and their energy supplies in rubles. Well, Europe currently gets about 40% of its gas from Russia. The Polish state gas company bought 53% of its gas imports from Gazprom in the first quarter of this year. It has confirmed that supplies to the countries have been halted. Bulgaria relies on Gazprom, the Russian energy company, for more than 90% of its gas supply, but the Bulgarian government said it had taken steps to find alternative sources of energy. Andrew Plant has this report.
Ukrainian armoured vehicles heading towards the front line, Donbass in eastern Ukraine, where Russian bombing is increasing by the day. Russia fighting not just Ukrainian resistance, but pushing back now against countries helping Ukraine, from today cutting off its gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria in retaliation for sanctions imposed on Russian companies.
We have received threats from the Russian Federation, from Gazprom. Poland had previously prepared to diversify gas supplies. We will be able to protect our economy, protect households and Poles against such a dramatic step by Russia.
As thousands continue to flee the fighting, Russia has now said it has the right to attack specific targets in Ukraine, even if a Western advisor is present, as tensions between Russia and the West increase. Germany has now said it will send around 50 anti-aircraft tanks to the fight, a major change in its policy. Meanwhile, UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss, in a speech later today, will vow to support Ukraine for the long haul and say Britain and other Western powers should send warplanes to the country, something Ukraine has repeatedly called for. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, after meeting the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, issued a warning to the world that Russia, he said, should no longer be trusted with nuclear facilities.
No one in the world can feel safe knowing how many nuclear facilities, nuclear weapons and related facilities and technology the Russian state has. We need global control over Russia's nuclear facilities and nuclear technology.
The hope is still for negotiation to end this war. Russia, though, showing no sign of changing course. Andrew Plant, BBC News.
오늘도 잘 살았습니까?